Evening guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Vexed here again, and we are here with some racing videos again, obviously back with the commentaries. Obviously you can check also my live commentaries out on Aero League Racing's YouTube channel. Currently doing tier 1. I think I'll maybe with tier 1 for next season, but without further ado, let's introduce the new team. So we are now Carbon Collective Motorsports, a group of like-minded friends who decided to create their own race team. So we've been hosting some open lobby evenings on a Saturday evening. It's generally sprint race format, so 5 15-minute races, depending on how much time people have to race. Anyway, this is one of the ones from the Saturday just gone. I believe this was the opening race because Raj Chandy actually won overall in the first week, so he chose the track for this week and he also chose the car. So we're all in the Peugeot RCZ. So we'll have a quick look at the grid. We've got Wayne G lining up on pole. We've got Aaron there in second place. That's a returning Aaron Bain. Dan Bailey is there in third. We got myself in fourth. Pickle is there in fifth. We've got Smurf in sixth. Thomas in seventh. Mawson is eighth. And Butthead, who was one of the random guys that joined the lobby, in ninth place. So without further ado, shall we get into it? We will be reintroducing the klaxon and stuff later on in the series. I've just not got it set up tonight. So Wayne G getting a really good getaway there. It looks like people getting a little bit congested in the background. Actually, Dan Bailey's managed to move up to second place in the background there. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between him, Pickle, and who else was that? That was a green car, wasn't it? I think it might have been Butthead that caused them shenanigans. I think Aaron getting edged out a little bit wide there as well. We can see a little bit of lag within the lobby. See, Wayne G has got a slight bit on the go there. He's still maintaining that lead over Dan Bailey, who's in second place. Then we have Aaron being chased down by Thomas and Mawson, and I believe that is Butthead there as well, and Vex getting the move done on Butthead in the background. Mawson trying to look for a move on Thomas, and Butthead actually finds himself in the barrier. I think he actually left mid-race during this race, so you can see me trying to put Thomas under some pressure there. Mawson has moved through to fourth place. He's taken that fourth place quite nicely. Thomas now under some pressure from myself behind in sixth. Butthead has slotted into seventh place, but he's nowhere to be seen at the moment. And then we have Pickle and Smurf, I believe it is, off towards the back of the field. So there's myself. We've got Butthead. And yeah, Butthead looking like he's hitting walls as he goes down the straight. Pickle manages to get through quite easily. We got Smurf starting to bear down on him now. I'll have a quick look with Smurf, see if he manages to get through quite easily. Coming through Big Banky Boy for the first time. Obviously this is maggiore long. And there we go, Butthead off into the wall again, and, well, just for good measures, he goes for that second cuddle with Barry. And I think this is shortly where he ended up leaving the race. I think carrying on for a little bit more time. Carrying damage on that car as well. And yeah, he's just off again. So, not sure if he's new to the game or just not a very adept driver. Anyway, Wayne G still out in first place. He's currently got the fastest lap for 2 minutes 2.009. We'll have a look and see what Dan Bailey's closest lap time is in just a second. So no rules with the liveries. Everyone can run whatever livery they want, whatever theme. And I think we can see a nice one from Smurf if we go on board with him in just a second, if it's loaded in. So Dan Bailey is there. He's running the Carbon Collective Motorsports livery on that RCZ. But Aaron not too far behind. He's in the total Peugeot RCZ. Now Mawson starting to be pressured by Thomas. Mawson actually with that 0.5 second penalty. I think he's going to lose that place to Thomas before he serves that penalty. Although Thomas with a bit of a different line through that last sector of turns. You can see Vex just there in the background. And as I say, that Mawson actually put in the purple sector, as you would expect for lap 2. Has he served that penalty now? I do believe he served that penalty now. Thomas still not unable to find a way through at the moment. And their squabbling up ahead is allowing Vext back into the clutches of the two cars ahead of him. In fact, they're starting to fall into his clutches, aren't they? Thomas pulls out to have a look up the inside, thinks better of it, dives back into the slipstream. So Mawson is going to retain that 4th position for the next lap at least. Coming up to the 4-minute mark, obviously a 15-minute race. So not quite halfway through, but slowly approaching. So Thomas is still trying to find his way through at the moment. With Vext hot on his heels. I think I actually had a better race in the first session we had the Saturday before in the M6s. But I'll probably throw them up at some point, maybe over the weekend, because we only had 5 or 6 races, I think, so not the most exciting of races, but still good racing nonetheless. So Thomas trying to hold on to Mawson, but Mawson actually seeming to stretch that gap slightly. We'll go on board with Vex for just a second. So Vex is still firmly in that tow of Thomas up ahead. Whether he'll be able to get a move done or not, I'm not too sure. He's obviously in the Red Bull liveried RCZ. And these one-makes do make for some very close racing. I mean, you can see the field is fairly spread out now, but that is down to Butthead earlier. I think there was contact between him, Pickle and Smurf, so that's how they ended up all the way at the back there. Thomas now looking to go for a move against Mawson. I think we saw Mawson make a slight mistake on one of the previous turns. That's allowed Thomas right up into his gearbox. He's going to be looking for a move down the inside, is he, into the final turn? No, not quite that time round. Will he get the run down the start finish? On the approach to turn 1, I think Mawson's going to have to cover off the inside early. He's actually chosen not to, so he's chosen to take the racing line still. I think he feels like Thomas isn't quite close enough at the moment to go for a move. Vext also unable to pull off one in the background there as well. So Pickle actually running Here he is, his livery there on the RCZ. I think it's actually Starbucks themed as well. It definitely is Starbucks themed as well. But yeah, he's got Here he is plastered all over it. That definitely isn't Rory. That is Pickle himself. And then we've got Smurf. What livery is Smurf running? I believe that's a Fortnite livery. Does it? I think it actually says. And yeah, it was confirmed there. Vexman loves Fortnite. Yeah, thanks for that, Gary. I've actually been recently roped into playing Fortnite with my 7-year-old, and he's absolutely hooked on it. And it's actually not a bad game, to be fair. I can't do any of the building stuff, so we just play zero build. But yeah, there you go. That is why Smurf is running the Vex Loves Fortnite livery, because I have recently been playing Fortnite. So quite a gap now between Wayne G and Aaron. Aaron actually the fastest guy on track at the moment for 1:57.1. Wayne G's fastest is a 57.5. So Aaron actually 3 or 4 tenths faster at this point than Wayne G. Unable to close that gap though. That is quite a sizable gap. You can see that on the track map on the top right there. And then as we look back, Danny Bailey now down in 3rd place. So Aaron has managed to get that pass done at some point. We didn't actually quite see that, did we, as we was focusing on the rest of the field, but he has got that move done. He's now up to 3rd place. I mean, he's now up to 2nd place. Dan Bailey is down to 3rd. Just over halfway now, 8.5 minutes in. Mawson still holding on to that 4th position, still with Thomas well in the tow, or at least he was. Thomas was well in the tow. He's actually stretched that gap now, so a bit of breathing space there for Mawson. Got a bit of catching up to do to catch up to Dan Bailey, but he's definitely making headway, isn't he? And it looks like Thomas and Vex maybe having a bit of a battle in the background there. Thomas actually on the mediums as well, so a bit of a different strategy for Thomas. He looked like he fancied going for the mediums, or maybe he forgot to change his tyres before the start of the race. Putting on an absolute show though on the mediums, managing to keep Vex behind him still. And he was very competitive, wasn't he, with Mawson? I thought he was going to win that position for a minute, for a few laps, but it was not to be. Oh, and he's made a mistake, almost collecting Vex there as he spins the car. He's off, so Vex moves up to 5th place. It looked like Pickles almost clipping the rear of him as well as Thomas was trying to get out of the way, so Thomas will rejoin in 7th place. Is he going to lose that position to Smurf as well? I don't think Smurf is quite close enough to be able to take that position away. And he is gaining on Thomas, but yeah, you can see he is gaining on Thomas, but making a little mistake there himself. You can see him kicking up the dust in the background. So Thomas down to 7th place now. He's got a bit of work to do to catch up to Pickle. He's only got 5 minutes to do so as well, just under. You can see the headlights are starting to come on the cars. Darkness is descending around the track. Mawson with a bit of a squirm there. He's managed to hold it. And yeah, actually not a bad car we found. We thought the RCZ was a decent choice from Chand. So obviously the format is obviously being between 3 and 5 sprint races, depending on how much time everybody's got. I think we're having some lobby issues on this evening, so we only managed to get a couple of races in. But the car for next week was chosen by Thomas as he was the last winner. We didn't have enough races to confirm an overall winner, so Thomas being the winner of the last race, he chose the McLaren 650S, which we will be using this Saturday. And I do believe he's chose I think the track is Monza. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. I think Monza was actually chosen in the first week that we did the open lobbies, but as I say, not very many drivers that week. We were all in the M6, and because we had more drivers this week, we decided, yeah, that's fine, we'll just run Monza again, but we will try and keep it to different tracks every race until we obviously run out of tracks, so then we have to repeat the rotation again. But yeah, random tracks or random track picking, so it's turn up and put your best show on, see what positions you can make up, if any. And Mawson actually looking like Vex is starting to creep up onto the back of him now, so Vex keeping it nice and consistent. What can he do to get onto the back of Mawson? Has he got enough beans in that car? Has he even got enough time? I think it's just under 3 minutes left, 2 minutes and change. You can see Mawson seems to keep having slight little twitches up ahead. That is going to cost him a couple of thousandths per lap, maybe a couple of hundredths or tenths. And we have Pickles go through there. Thomas starting to close that gap, but still a little way back at the moment. I think he may have to settle for 7th. Smurf goes very, very deep there. Actually not picking up a penalty, so the track gods deeming it okay for him to run it that wide through that sector. He actually goes quite wide again there. I think clipping a little bit of the Astro there, which sucked him out towards the outside of the curb, but keeping it going. He's keeping his head down as well. Going forward, we will start having a points table. I think we'll go with 8 rounds as it normally is, maybe 8 or 10 rounds. Obviously the sprint format to start with, 15-minute sprint races, 2 times fuel, 2 times tyre wear. But look at Wayne G go, he is absolutely running away with it at the moment. He's managed to steal that fastest lap back with a 56.8. That's a 1:56.816 to be precise. Aaron still only in the 57, so his lowest is a 57.104. So not too far off the back of Wayne G's, only a couple of tenths out of that 56 after the sub 57s, but yeah. 57.8 is Dan Bailey's fastest lap. His last 3 have been 58s and 1:59. So it looks like he's kind of dropping off the back of Aaron slightly now. Maybe starting to struggle a little bit with tyre wear. Dan Bailey has had a couple of seasons out though. He's had a bit of time off with work. Now getting his head firmly back into it though. So Mawson, I think this is the closest battle at the moment, is between Mawson and Vexed. And Vexed has closed that gap quite considerably. Not sure if there's been a few little errors from Mawson. Is he going to have enough to get past him on his final lap? I don't think he is. We're going to have to go on board with Wayne G very shortly. I think this is going to be the last opportunity for Vex to get a pass done. As Mawson comes round, big banky boy for the 8th and final time this race. So yeah, we'll have to go on board with Wayne G as he is approaching the final turn now. And he will take the win in this first race, so he will choose the track for race 2. Aaron making it home in a very good second place there. Great racing, Aaron. Welcome back, mate. Danny Bailey, he's going to take 3rd slot on the podium in this first race. Mawson, he's going to hold on to that 4th place. Vexed 5th. Pickle, he's going to bring it home in 6th, followed by Thomas in 7th. Then we have Smurf in 8th. And he's still finishing his lap. He's going to come around the final turn now. Displaying that Fortnite livery in its full glory with the llama and everything. Well done, Smurf. He brought it home in 8th place, and obviously we had the random person who was in 9th but dropped out. Well, that was race 1, guys. Hope you enjoyed that one. I'll be back with the next one. I've been your boy Vex. Good night.